Hi everyone, this is Mary Sutherland. Today is a premiere show. Now we know that we got the other shows out there, but this is the premiere show of chatting with Mary over a cup of coffee. We're going to discuss everything, world events, things that bother you, spiritual counseling, cryptids like Bigfoot, Dogman, travel, space travel, dimensional travel, time travel, races of lost races, our lost history, politics. Ooh, talk about woo-woos. There's the biggest right there. They call people, that believe in spiritual things like, I don't know, Bigfoot or whatever. They call us woo-woos. I think the biggest woo-woo out there is people that follow politics, or not follow politics so much as the politicians. So, hi Jazz, hi Elisa. So this is our premiere show. All right, we're still going to do the tarot cards, and so there's free readings of tarot cards as well. We're just going to. I'm going to have these shows every day at 4 o'clock, and then they'll be archived, and we should have a lot of fun with them. And just hi Roseanne, hi Richard. So it's sometimes it might get a little, but I'll try to keep it kind of calm. But I want people to be able to voice their opinions on this show. And I think that we're going to go with burlingtonnews.net/television as our main site for this. All right. So it's an old site I had. There's already shows up on it, but I'll also do start running these shows there as well. So anyhow, so if there's something out there that you guys want to talk about, to express your feelings on, this is now going to be the place for it. Hi Eric, hi Julie. I would like to start the show out with, of course, because this was the day where hundreds of thousands of people came together with just happiness, happy thoughts. There was no protests in the street. There was no guns or knives or baseball bats or anybody yelling about another person. There was no bigotry. Why? Because it was us, our type of people of like mind that came together. That's not interested in all that stuff, but we were interested in what happened today with with this solstice. We all came together in love and wonder. We brought our children with us. A lot of people, they did ceremony. I would have loved to have been on an Indian reservation for that, because I could just about imagine what an Indian reservation would have been like. But then, of course, I kind of wonder, too, because the Navajo felt that when the sun and moon came together like that, it was like the god and goddess coming together. Father, Son, Mother Earth, or not Mother, or Mother Moon. And they were having a sexual encounter. So it was kind of bad to watch them. It wasn't very polite, right? So usually what they were supposed to do was go into their teepees or whatever and be quiet for as long as the darkness lasted, which was usually about, well, today it was like 2 minutes it took in most places. The Hindi also have that same ritual. Now, we were warned. So anyhow, the reason I would like to have been someplace where, there was observance, like maybe what the Indians were doing is because they would have told the story behind the solstice. So a lot of people that went to some of these places, as the news, of course, presented it, it was all about science, science geeks. No, it wasn't. There was. I hate these tags people put on people. I just hate it. Because once you get a tag, they can put a description to you, put you in a box, and wrap a nice little bow around you, and that's it. But I think that most of the people that went there, they were interested, yes, in science and what science was producing, the technology, but what was happening in the sky had nothing to do with science. It was the miracle of the cosmos. And we were able to see it from Earth. And in the end days, we were supposed to watch the skies. And I think that's what I really do believe. I watched it, I felt that it was the coming together of the moon and the sun, Father, Son, and the moon goddess. And as they came together, darkness came around them. And then there was that burst of light. And it seemed to me, as I'm watching this, that it was the coming together of the two, the male, the female energy. And as the two came together as one, a new life was created. And you've seen that as that burst of white light, as the moon pulled back from the sun. And I think that it was a cosmic play. And I think that it would have been really nice if there was a lot more people that kind of understood, the planets, the moon, the sun, Mother Earth is a living being that creates. And I really believed, from my feeling today, is that it wasn't not just to watch the moon pass in front of the sun, but it was the starting of a new age, the beginning of a new life with great changes. And now, as this would be considered day one, now the baby is born, maybe as the embodiment of Christ. But we have to nurture that baby and bring it to full term. And I think that full term will come, I believe the second time that this is going to happen, this solstice such as this is, I think is it 2024 or 27, something like that. But with the second, the repetition, it's 7 years from now. So with the repetition, with the 7, and 7 kind of represents the Christ. 7 years from now, the same event will be from us for these 7 years nurturing the child, and then the child coming into full adulthood. And so our time is now, this is like it's not transition time really anymore, because the embodiment of Christ was born today. But it is time that we have to give our energies to the baby, nurture it, so that 7 years from now it reaches adulthood and can take care of us. I live in Wisconsin, and Nada is on here, and she said it was too cloudy here to see anything, but hey, the sun is shining brightly now. Go figure. It was cloudy here too, Nada, but we were able to, when the sun, the clouds would part, and then we could see the sun, and we watched it from the crescent, and we watched it up through. It was about 3/4 and then we quit watching. But you could feel the magic in the air, that stillness, that a softness, and you could almost feel the new energy coming into play. And I think that the old energy, the old paradigm, I think even as of today, you're going to start seeing a big, big change in government. I think it started happening several days ago, or even a week ago. I think that it happened in Charlottesville, that the birthing pain started, and then there was the preparation of birth, which was today. And it's going to be very, very interesting now. I think that you're going to see a new light, a new change in how governments run. Bannon is out of there, so the nationalists are out of there, most of them. There's a few that still got to be taken care of, but the Nationalist Party's gone. And that Braybird everybody's talking about, you know who they put up? The magazines they put out that all of those news people are so afraid of? They put out the National Enquirer. I mean, come on, folks. We don't even buy the National Counter or National Enquirer at the food stores, you know, because they always had them stuck in those racks, and we kind of look at them, you know, aliens. I'm having an alien baby, you know. We kind of read those titles, you know, and kind of laugh and go and pay for our food and generally leave them alone. Every once in a while they'll capture your attention. You might buy one, but this Braybird, that's National Enquirer. Those are those ragtime magazines. I don't even know why the news is even giving them any acknowledgement at all. I mean, talk about fake news, but that's going to be done. I mean, it's kind of like a tidal wave coming in, a tsunami coming in. The tsunami hit today, boom. But then afterwards, there's going to be waves. Even though the tsunami is done, there'll still be waves coming in and going out, waves coming in and going out, and then eventually the sea will settle down. And that is, that's what's happening now. Nada says, the atmosphere was very heavy, like a heavy blanket. That's because of this energy that's coming in, Nada. You could feel this energy. You didn't have to be too intuitive, too insensitive to actually stop, take the time, and you could feel this energy in the air. It was, you think that it was heavy, yeah? It was noticeable. Yeah, that's what I said too when I started checking it out. And Breitbart, they're supremacist, white supremacist backed publication. They got National Enquirer out, but with along with other type of ragtime magazines. But yeah. Now, to back up, what I'm saying is before you guys all came in, I pulled out our cards, right? So now today, I love how cards, I don't exactly understand how they work. It's the same way with the pendulum, you know, in healing. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know it works. I always have faith in it. So as I was waiting for all of you guys to come in, I started doing a generalized reading for Mother Earth, right, in our future. And today we had the union of the moon and the sun, right? So what does it show? The first card that pops up, spiritual union. 2, the male and the female. Can't get much closer than that, right? We need to start using our crown chakra. crown chakra is right up here. That's what's connecting Earth to the higher realm, the sun, the universal love. And I think that this is exactly what is happening, Nida. It was that, this energy. It's what we should be experiencing now is everybody should start becoming more psychic. We're going to have dreams. We're going to have visions. We're going to feel more. We're going to expand more. And we're going to be walking away from our baggage and starting new projects. And we're going to be successful with those new projects. As long as you keep it in love. But if you leave your old baggage behind, you're definitely going to be starting it with love, because the old baggage is pain, sorrow, selfishness, greed. So that stuff's all behind us now. The other card was transformation, and that's exactly what today happened. Do you see the blue? How my light in my room just changed to a blue, from a white to a blue. That's a sign of spirituality. Now it kind of went back to a light. But transformation, old paradigm into new paradigm. No, Nita. Hopefully we will be experiencing more love. Nita, there's no hope about it. Hope is here now. We will be experiencing more love. We're transforming. We're in a time now of transforming, where the old baggage is leaving, where the butterfly is coming out of the cocoon, or came out of the cocoon today. Yesterday I would have said will be coming out of the cocoon. Today I said it came. Today was the day. So that's a good thing. What a Load of Rubbish, Lies from the Devil by John Taylor. There you go. See, this is what I want in this radio show. Is I want more, because we've always kind of like focused around our thoughts, and I kind of like the idea is having a radio show where we expand more, kind of get to know other people around us that aren't really of like minds. I think that's interesting, John, that you think it's a load of rubbish, lies from the devil. But I have to ask myself, if you really believe that, why are you watching this show? Huh? It seems to me like maybe you're the type of person that wants to believe this stuff so much, but are so afraid of what you might find, or that it won't work, that you come across in a very negative way. Lies from the devil. Love has never been a lie from the devil. And so far, I don't think that we've said anything bad that would even come close to being part of the devil. We've talked about love. We've talked about living a life without lies and deception and hatred and bigotry. We're talking about love and transforming into a better person. So I would not so much understand how you could relate love, transformation, happiness, and community as devil worshiping. But I'm glad that you brought it up. It's okay. And we're here for you. You may not like it, but you got to remember, John, nobody made you get into this show. You actually physically had to push a button or have a thought first, I'm going to listen to the show. Then push button and join the show. So nobody did that for you, but your curiosity did. That you're curious, and the reasoning behind it, only you really know. All right. So anyhow, hi Michelle. I'm glad that you joined us as well today. So there's anyhow, if you want a reading, hold on. Hello. Hey, I'm doing a radio show right now, so can I call you back? No, I wouldn't say hey. I'm doing a radio show, so you're live. So I'll just call you back. Oh, okay, bye. I lied to him. That was my son. I told him, he said, yeah, but I just got to tell you this one thing. And I says, no. I says, you're live on the radio show. Oh, and I said, I'll call you back. He's okay. So, a little white lie, maybe. Speaking the truth is love. You're right, John. Great first step. Okay. So anyhow, I did do a little white lie. And I thought it was interesting because that's just what I was talking about. People don't lie. But what is a lie? I mean, can you like that because I'm doing in the middle of a show and he says, yeah, but I got to tell you all this stuff. And I said, but you're live. Did it hurt him? No. Did it cause any pain to his family? No. I always tell people I never lie, and I don't. But I'm a pretty good bullshitter. I have a feeling that's my other son calling. Oh my God. All of a sudden I'm popular with my kids. Okay. And Moses Hensley, he says that he saw a butterfly at work and it flied around me for like 5 minutes, which is odd. Well, see, that's a sign of transformation, Moses. Because butterfly always represents transformation. And if it did that, it went out of its way to fly around you, that's pretty significant. I had a badger show up, and what was it, last week, and the badger showed up, and following day an oriole showed up, and I've had 2 cardinals coming every day. And this is what you want to do, because most people don't understand. They don't understand how to talk to the universe, because they say, oh, well, God doesn't listen anymore. Well, God listens and God talks. And God's a name, tomato, tomato. All right. Some call him, I'm not even going to go into that. But regardless of what title you give God, in Mother Earth, like the Holy Mother, they are always in direct communication with us. And we use our Holy Spirit, because in the Bible it says the only great sin is disconnecting yourself from your Holy Spirit. And the reason for that is because the Holy Spirit is that umbilical cord that connects you to the higher wisdoms of the Godhead. So, and this is what's happened to us, is we have been tricked through and deceived through religion and various ways of society to not to connect anymore. Just saying it, well, it's just my imagination. But remember, imagination is a code. It's an Atlantean code in English, where if you learn how to separate it according to root words, you can understand the true meaning. And imagination is, I am a nation of magi. Break it on down. And so that means that you have the ability to talk or carry on a conversation back and forth with the Godhead. And so this is, and one of the things that we've lost this knowledge, but we're getting it back now. And one of the things, in order to understand or to be able to listen to the higher wisdoms, is to watch the signs around you. Animals and birds are very good. Like you with Moses with the butterfly going around you, for 5 minutes. That's God's way of showing you that you're in the process of transformation. The everyday sighting of two cardinals, that's an omen to me, or a symbol to me, to let me know that I'm on the right path. It confirms every day. They confirm to me that I'm on the right path. So learn, and it's easy. You don't need to go out there and buy a book. I mean, it's easy enough to do. You just go to Google and type in bird omens or animal omens, and then type in, like, if you've seen a badger, you type in animal omens badger, and it'll just pull up all these symbols, and message, and definitions, metaphysical definitions for them. If anybody wants a reading, we can do that as we're talking. Eliza, we had over 100 dragonflies come in the yard a few years ago. They stayed for a good 15 minutes and went out on the same way they came in. It was beautiful. Lots of cardinals here, and for years we've had 2 doves here. My daughter was mowing and saw butterflies around her. Dragonflies are, they claim that dragonflies during the daytime are actually fairies that have manifested themselves into dragonflies. So when I see dragonflies, I always look at the idea of that I've got fairies all around me. And of course, the butterflies I just said is an indication of butterfly, or transformation. Yeah, let's look at the animal. Okay, like the 2 doves. What does 2 doves do? I mean, doves mate for life. They're very they're love. They kind of represent love, gentleness. They have a gentle quality. They stay to themselves with their loved ones. So whatever animal, whatever bird you see, you study it, and you see how that applies to you. Because whatever you're seeing is kind of like mirrored back to you based on who you are in an animal form or a bird form or whatever. Yes, for a reading, Eliza. Okay, we can do. Okay. So is there? Oh, I know what I want to tell you. Is that? Remember I told you about how I went to the Beloit Anthropology Museum, where in search of the Perkins artifacts, which came from the ancient mound builders from the Copper Age, and I said that anyhow, I went there because I'm trying to bring enough evidence together now to start up a nonprofit organization where we can use that to have a little bit more pull and power to try to preserve more of these mounds and ancient artifacts from being destroyed. Because I kind of got kicked in the rear on that when Kat sent me a newspaper article that Burlington, Wisconsin had a street that they had dug up, and after the rains and floods, the skeletal bones started floating in the dugout area where the road was, okay? And so they had well, long story short, it ended up that they decided to save themselves like $65,000, and of instead of using fill dirt for their new um, swimming pool project, they were going to use the skeletal remains and the burial grounds that had come up for fill. And so I was just heartbroken over this. So anyhow, I contacted the Boyd Anthropology Museum and told them who I was, what I was doing, and now I'm just waiting for a day to. I contacted them back because I had to do a written proposal to them, and now I'm just waiting back for them to give me a time and date where I can actually go down because they have thousands of Perkins artifacts. Okay, and so anyhow, there's copper artifacts, and there's a lot of people that told me that you could not find copper artifacts in Wisconsin. That was only you'd find them up in the Minnesota, Michigan area. They didn't come this far south, which we know now as a fact they did. And I actually got to look at the Perkins his journal where he had drawn the pictures of his artifacts and dates and how he got them and everything like that. I actually got to see his journal. And so when I get to go back there maybe next week, then they're going to pull all those artifacts out for me and just let me look at them, touch them, photograph them, and save them for posterity and be able to use this so I can go on down to Wisconsin State Historical Society and get more from them, and then go to the Madison Museum and talk to the curators, and then go, Milwaukee and different places. But I'm on the road to relocating all these ancient mound builder artifacts. So now, as this is progressing, Kat, my number one expert or researcher in Burlington, she's been with me for, God, I don't know, 12 years, I guess. But anyhow, when Burlington had this huge flood down there, I mean, it was declared a emergency, a disaster emergency by Governor Walker. But anyhow, they called it the 500-year flood. And it just, I mean, about destroyed Burlington. And I told Brad then, I says, there's going to be artifacts popping up because of all that water. And anyhow, Kat sent to me today because what happened was there had been damage done to the dam. And they were trying to figure out how to see what damage is done and how to reinforce this dam. Because this dam is the one that holds back the lake. And then it dumps into the White River, and then further up, the White River joins with the Fox. Okay, and then they become one and go down through. So they can't figure out what to do and somebody said, I suggest, or somebody says that they suggest, why don't you just dredge the lake? And the answer was, we can't, because we found that at the bottom of the lake is one massive size burial site, ancient burial site. So they can't dredge. And they did an overhead shot. Somebody did, and I have the picture, okay? The pictures are on in my group, Burlington News, Facebook.com/groups/Mary Sutherland. Or you can just find it on my timeline, Mary Sutherland. I've under Sci-Fi Cafe too. But anyhow, I took all the pictures and I put them together so that you guys can be able to see this. Now, when I get this website of mine, that burlingtonnews.net/television, when I get that, I have to kind of update it. But then I can start putting these shows like this on there, and then the pictures like we're talking about right now, I can put on that website as well. So then that way, from now on, you'll be able to watch my shows live. But if you wanted to watch the archive and you want to see the pictures that I'm talking about, you just go to that burlingtonnews.net/television. Right now, though, there's a lot of shows I do have up there already. So, I mean, it's up and running. So anyhow, this is what I got today. I mean, just today I got this in. And Kat had discovered it from a friend that had been a friend of another friend of another friend, and they were typing about it, on Facebook, and Kat seen it and sent it to me. So I contacted all those people to try to find out where they got the pictures, who they were talking to that said that the lake was underneath the lake was a huge um, burial grounds, because that would be kind of like what we have at Lake Mills or Rock Lake. Remember, for what now, 5, 6, 7 years, I've been working with Frank Joseph, going out there every year, mapping the structures under, the burial and the city structures underneath the waters of Rock Lake. So this this is pointing to that this would have been a massive burial site, and this is and it's at Echo Lake, and Echo Lake is right where that platform mound or that step flat top pyramid I discovered where the bed and breakfast sits. That mound sits right across the road from Echo Lake. And Echo Lake is an artificial lake. And so when they did the lake, I would imagine they knew about the burial grounds, but then they just covered it up with water. And that's what the ancient people did with Rock Lake, down there where Absalon is. And I'll tell you, once you get it filled up with water, those mounds are safe, because we've been working at it for all these years, and boy, there's nothing harder than underwater archaeology, because you're dealing with all that silt and that muck, and you get too close to the bottom floor and you get all that silt rising up, and it produces a cloud, and you can't photograph, but you can't see your hand in front of your face. It's a mess. But I would think, though, that maybe I have to learn more about it first, and then I'm going to also present it to the Beloit Anthropological Museum too, see what they think. I'm also going to take that. That stele, STELA, to Beloit Museum as well, and see what they think about it, because so far nobody's been able to figure out the writing. Sarah Grusing. Patricia, what state? Wisconsin. I'm sorry. Sarah Grusing, thanks, Mary, for the talk on the eclipse and omens. Always wonderful to listen to you speak. Have to go do family shopping. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Well, thank you very much. Remember, these shows will be archived, okay? And let's see. Now, I was just in the process of, okay. I was in the process of doing Eliza's reading, okay? I do free readings. I'm just too busy. Some people have contacted me about doing readings, and, it's just, I just don't have time. I've got so many other projects going on right now. But I think that these are pretty good too, so. Okay. You have to take in that emotional loss. You're still working with it. You have to work with your heart chakra. Emotional loss. You have to allow the light to start coming in. You have to release that loss. Okay? Learn from it. Realize it's just baggage. You've taken the knowledge from it. Release it and just allow that place to be filled, that empty spot to now be filled with light instead of darkness. Now, Eliza, if you continue to have a problem with this, you just keep thinking about what happened in the past, and you just can't let it go, I would say that you possibly have an attachment. Attachments are easy to get. And you kind of recognize that you've got like a string attachment to this person through their aura, because you usually figure it out once you've tried everything else, and you're still having memories of this, and it's still painful and everything. So what you have to do is look at it like this. Your aura is connected to that person's aura by a string. It's kind of like, like we have a big string, which is our spiritual umbilical cord, that's connected here to our belly button and then to the universe. And that one you want to leave alone. Don't touch that one. But we also have emotional strings, which you can't see, but they're there. Just like the umbilical cord, that's attached to your belly button up to the universe. So you know that they're there. But it's not a physical thing, it's a metaphysical thing, all right? So what you have to do is use your imagination, which actually is your Holy Spirit, and you start cutting. You use your fingers like a pair of scissors, and you start cutting. And you cut all around you. And you cut all those strings that are still connecting you with that person. And you just keep cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting. And then you're going to experience after that, okay, if you've done it right, then you're going to experience afterwards like an emotional detachment. You'll still have memories of that person. You'll still have memories, of what you learned from it, but that's about it. I mean, you won't have that attachment because the attachments have been cut. And they're very real. I've done it, but I do it every once in a while because wherever we go through in life, it's easy to pick up these attachments. Just people thinking of you a lot of times, they can attach themselves to you. If they're in love with you, or they hate you, or they're jealous of you, or whatever, and they're thinking of you, they're also sending out these strings, these attachments, and they hook onto you. And then they start feeding off you, leaving you tired, listless, and it's almost kind of on the same level terms as a psychic vampire. Not quite, but still does the same type of damage. Or if you're in love with somebody, or you're hating somebody or something, you're hooking onto them. And the last thing you need to do, and then they start feeling heavier and heavier and heavier, more tired. And so the best thing to do is just maybe like once a month or whatever. This is what I do. But once a month, I just cut my emotional ties. And you need to. And you'll feel afterwards, like I said, I can't explain how God does these things. I can't explain how the universe does those things. But the magic works. And so as far as I'm concerned, if it works, that's all I need to know. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, then I'll find something that does work. I use myself as a guinea pig. Like today, I said that I was out there watching the solstice. Now, what did they say? Whatever you do not look at the sun directly. You have to spend $200 on a pair of glasses, right? Well, I go outdoors, and first of all, they said it was going to happen until 1 o'clock. So I go out there, and it's happening. And I'm with Brad, and we just look up. It's really cloudy, so we felt, well, we could look at it, we could see it. As the clouds would separate, there would be the sun, and it would show like a crescent, and then it went into more of a half moon, a little bit more, about three-quarters of the sun covered by the moon. So we would look at it, and then drop our eyes, talk a little bit, and then look up again, and take pictures. And it didn't hurt our eyes. I'm not blind, didn't hurt me a bit. I think that they say that because they figure it's best to just say don't look, because there's some people that would probably look at it or the whole thing, through the whole, procedure, which would cause retina damage, But because I've been looking at, there's a lot of people out there that are sun gazers. They go out there and look at the sun every day because they say that there's certain ingredients that is coming through the sun that gets absorbed through your eyes that helps you with your evolution. And so I know that there's all these people out there that are doing it. So it's like, well, is this solstice one of these things that it causes extra radiation or something? Brett said, I don't think so. And I says, well, I'm looking at it because I want to see what it looks like. So I did. I watched it. My eyes are fine. I see you. Hi. Oh, by the way, another cup of coffee? Good stuff, huh? Coffee with Mary. Okay, so Liza says, years ago, my ex borrowed $45,600 from me and hasn't yet paid it back. Could this be what you're referring to? When we broke up, he had a 4-year-old. Is that what you think about a lot? Whatever you're thinking about, that's the emotional tie. And besides that, if you start cutting, you're going to be cutting all those emotional ties, not just that, all of them. Okay? So, and I borrow money to people, Eliza. But you know what? I never lend out any more than I can afford to lose. I never lend out thinking that I'm going to get that money back. Then that way I'm never disappointed. And those people never feel obligated. So people do things too for a thank you. Never do anything for a thank you, because you are going to be heartbroken when that thank you never comes. You only do things, good things, because it comes from your heart. Because your heart tells you to do something nice for somebody else. It makes you feel good inside. You lend money out if you can afford to lose the money. Okay? So just cut. Anybody else want a reading? Thank you, HJ, for congratulating me on my first show. I hope I can do it later. Well, I hope you can too, darling. I don't know if my comments are working, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into my regular cell phone, and I'm going to go on Facebook and check it out. I got 266 private messages. And I just got done with this. I mean, I just cleared everything out. But people say, well, you need to be more on top of your email. And it's like, hey, it's everything I can do to keep up to my private messaging, right? Let's talk about it. I'm going to go onto my site, I think. How do I even get in here, huh? About discussion. How do you join it? Okay. Well, that's crazy. Promote, share, like. Huh. I don't know how you guys find my site. I'm mystified. Um, well, say something to me, and I'll see if I'm still up and running. Huh. So anyhow, I actually have. Can let's see. Do you see that? Let's see. See that starburst? I think what that starburst is, that's the beginning of life. See, because the top picture and the first picture, that's the mother and father coming together as one. Okay, and here the starburst is the that's life. It's the burst of life, and I believe it's the of the God, or of Christ. Christ begin, and we nurture him now for 7 years, and then he hits the full his maturity. But to me, that it was just like a play, just like a play. There it is, life. Oh darn it, sorry. Thank you, Shelley Pfeiffer, for sending that to me. Let's see. The president is a douchebag. Okay. Um, he wasn't too happy today, was he? This is Mark Oberman. Well, let's see. That's Mark Oberman. He's a friend of ours, and him and Kim are from Oregon, and they come about once a year to visit with us. And he goes. Those two go all over the world doing things. Nothing slows him down. He's crazy. Okay, thanks. And I think that this is interesting. This is what Atala sent me on the. Look at this red. Isn't that interesting? That's from New York style. But look at that red. Crazy, huh? Totality, Barbara Phelps. Barbara Phelps is my son's mother-in-law. Okay, what I'm trying to do is get the. Oh, okay, it's still working good then. What were those white balls that were traveling across the stream? Oh, those were pictures of the eclipse. These were pictures of the eclipse that's being sent in to me right now. Okay. Now, this picture here. Oh, see those crosses? There's a set of crosses up on top, and then there's two crosses down on the bottom. This is a picture that was sent to me showing these like effigy bones at the bottom of Echo Lake. Tell me why, after they drain Echo, we see crosses in the water. Those are effigies. I got to learn a little bit of. So anyhow, but I got to find out where they. I have to find out where they got that picture off. Holly Peddle wrote in and says that she was passing Veterans Terrace in Burlington, Wisconsin today, and it smelled so awful from all that stuff that has come up from the flood. Oh, we were down there a couple weeks ago, and it smelled just like raw sewage down there. It was just, ugh, you could hardly. I couldn't wait to get away from that place. Yeah, it's anybody else want a reading? Want another cup of coffee? More coffee? So hang on, just trying to. So our so we had a great day today with the solar eclipse. I really do believe that it was a play, a cosmic play, showing that the mother and father came together in a sexual reunion, and then the Christ child was born in that flare up of light that you see. And so now we have the second coming. Today is the first day of the second coming. It will take 7 years to reach its full maturity, but that doesn't mean that the devil or any bad things is going to happen. It just means that everything's going to steadily get better and better and better and better. Secret Service today contacted, well, first of all, we lost, or Bannon, the Nationals, Bannon was kicked out. He says that no, he resigned. He's wrong. He's not. They kicked his butt out. And then they said that now Trump is getting together tonight to tell people at 9 o'clock his plans for Afghanistan. Well, the reason Trump was at Camp David to even begin with was that the military, all the bigwigs, had gotten together, and Trump was supposed to brought to them this guy that used to have Blackwater, and he was going to do a presentation, and Trump was going to hand over Afghanistan to him at the taxpayers' expense. And the military says, no, it ain't going to happen. And so when that guy from Blackwater shows up, they wouldn't even allow him in the building, at Camp David. And so whatever Trump's plans was with Blackwater was destroyed. Then they said that, and then they kept him there, and basically Trump was forced to sign papers firing Trump or firing Bannon. Now tonight he's going to make an announcement of what the military wants him to say, about Afghanistan. Then also today, besides the SOLTIS, because you know how they have been misusing our taxpayers' money with all this having to pay for the security at Trump Hotel with Melania, and then his other daughter Tiffany on some sort of a wild, crazy vacation that started as soon as Trump became president. And then you have your other ones taking off, his other daughter, it just goes on, and then paying for all of his golfing and everything. So anyhow, today they came down on Trump and saying, hey, we're to the point where this is security, his national security defense, his protectors, says you have broke us so much, we're having a hard time even paying for our people. And so they're cutting back a lot of Trump's playtime. If he wants to go do something, he'll be paying for it himself. So that came in today. And now we're going to find out what happens tomorrow, because tomorrow he's supposed to have another rally. Now we know now that this base that he's talking about and these rallies he's going to are white nationalists. The majority of them are. If they're not white nationalists, they're supporting friends that are white nationalists. So guilty through association. White nationalists are Nazis, neo-Nazis, white supremacists. Trump wants to go Tuesday, tomorrow, and have a rally for these people, which he calls his base. He wants to pump his base up, and the governor asked him, please do not come. He says, I'm coming anyhow. So we'll find out what happens to that, whether they have to, let him come to Phoenix and do this this hate rally, with his base, or they keep him in Washington, D.C. We don't know yet. Time will tell on that. But it seems that pretty much, I think that Trump has been censored. There's some things he can do, but most things have been taken away from him. And he's not a very happy camper over this. But that's okay. I mean, you can't just, as president, you can't just support a 29%, 30% base. You're president of the people of all America. Democrats, Republicans, women, children, black, white, green, gray, who cares? You're president to all of us that are citizens of this United States. You have to take care of all of us. You have to work at keep getting us our jobs. You can't take away jobs because we're Jewish. Or color skin. That is so 1960. I mean, that time has come and gone. But the dragon's trying to raise its ugly head. But it won't happen. Because we got Bannon out of there. There's there's several more that needs to go. But that, I project, will be happening within the week. All right. So I think that right now they may keep Bannon or keep Trump as the president, but he is severely censored. And he is even cut back on a lot of his tweets. He's just he's like a little boy that's been put into the corner and given downtime. So I don't know, but that's all good for us. We need a break. Today was a great break. We all came together, hundreds of thousands of us came together today, and we didn't focus on any politics whatsoever. We were just happy to see the cosmic play, and that is a good thing. And like I said, I'm very, very hopeful now for our future, starting as of today. Well, actually starting as of last week. And as you've seen in the cards verify the cosmic play that we watched today. So it's going to be a good thing. I'm going to be doing these shows every day for an hour. So kind of go to Facebook and onto my Facebook timeline or into my group and see the pictures that I have up and read my posts, and you can get further information of what I'm doing right now. And I want you guys to be happy here. I want you guys to be informed. I want you guys to feel that you got a place that you can go now and get the news out. Because like right at this point in time, Facebook is the best place to promote your news media. You got something to say, it goes on Facebook. The news media out there goes through Facebook, find out who's talking about what. And if it's good enough, they'll repeat that message on their shows. And so we don't need to be on a television show, but we definitely want our voices to be heard. And we will. They have picked up several different posts that I have done. So I know that MSNBC has been watching a lot of my work and repeating it. Of course, I'm not getting credit for it, but I'll say to Brett, okay, you watch and see if this doesn't end up on MSNBC. Boom, within a couple of days, there it is. So we're being heard. So now what I want to do with this type of a show is encourage our voice to be heard even more so. Power to the people, right? And love. Power to the people with love. passed on to you. And so this is the end of this show. I think that we did pretty good. And anyone that I encourage you to get your listener or get your viewers to start following me, joining our group at facebook.com /groups /Mary Sutherland. We have about 5,000 listeners right now, but I want it to be 1 million. I'm not going to settle for anything less. And so the only way I can do it is to get you guys to stay with me a little bit. And let's see. I encourage you to go to my website and click on store and see all the products that we have for sale. I'm the biggest seller of trolls, rust trolls. You know those cute little trolls from the 60s? I sell trolls and fairies and things like that. A lot of metaphysical stuff, tarot cards, UFO merchandise. We're going to be talking a lot about UFOs too, because I know a lot of my followers love UFO information. So I want to start keeping people updated on UFO sightings. I also want people to be updated on any cryptic sites such as Bigfoot or Mothman or Dogman. So if you have something that you want to share with me, that for me to share with other people, I would love to do so. I want to use this part as I want to do interviews too with some of the other investigators, like Rick Hale. I really want to get a hold of Rick Hale. He's a paranormal researcher, but he lost his leg to cancer, and it's been a struggle for him for the last year. But as far as anybody's, I'm sure he has downtimes. But as far as anybody else is concerned, he's accepted the cancer. He's lost his leg. He is, he hasn't let it get him down. He's writing books now, and he's got his prostate. I don't know what it's called. I don't think it's prostate. I think I'm using the wrong word there. But he's got his legs back. So now he's out there and he's going to start getting back into UFO paranormal research. So I want to get like Rick on here, to talk about the paranormal, about ghosts and things, but also as I want to have people like that are good examples, of how to live right, positive thinking, because we are what we think, and Rick beat that cancer, and I want him to let people know that they can do so as well. There's other people out there that have overcome a lot of obstacles. I want to interview them as well, and then let you guys be able to comment, talk about it. So that will be good. And then we'll not only have the shows available archived in Facebook, but it'll be archived on YouTube and then on my website at burlingtonnews.net/television. So this is something that was staring me in the face all these years, and I kept saying to Brad, there's something there. It's right in my face, but I can't see it, and it just used to drive me kind of crazy, And then yesterday I came up here, and all of a sudden it was like, boom, right in my face. We want you to do a 5-day show based on your post on Facebook. I want you to go back to interviewing, things like that. So it's like 5 days, really? Yep. And God don't want no slacker. So I said, okay. So, but anyhow, I'm going to close for the day, and I'll just because there's a lot to talk about, and we just got started. And bless all of you for being here today. I really, really, really appreciate it. And tell everybody about our new show. I created a banner, for the show, and you can find it on my Facebook site. So you can just kind of pass that banner along. Um, I just don't know. I don't know. Because the URL changes all the time. You know, so I don't know exactly how I can just use a regular banner or in with a URL as to how to find this my show. But you know how to, if there is a permanent place that they're using to have my live shows on, that doesn't change, contact me, let me know so that I can I can embed the URL into the banner. Okay. So anyhow, would you like to say hi to Max? Come here, Maxie. This is a babe. He's gonna be our Max is gonna be the co-host. Can everybody see Max? Oh, he's man, Mom. I don't want to work. I just want to lay next to you. But see, I got this little thing on him, and it says Max. And on the other side, it has my telephone number. So then that way Max doesn't get lost. We don't want to lose the little buddy. I love him so much. He loves me. Yeah. So anyhow, Max and I say, have a good evening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow, right, Max? Bye, guys.